what is a pocket? A pocket, when we think about a pocket for the quarterback, where he does his work, is a U shape, right? Because the two tackles get pushed back, the guards in the center push forward. We have a U shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, quarterback, even if the line is doing its job, it still creates that U shape, and it still condenses where the quarterback can move. I've never seen an offensive line form an actual wall, like a line that the BYU offensive line did for Zach Wilson last year. So that allows him to step up in any direction. He doesn't have to worry about bodies around him. The throwing lanes were unbelievable. So that alone, and then so the pocket via the offensive line, the run game via the offensive line, meaning teams had to get their eyes on all sorts of run action. And if they pull the ball and play action, forget about it. And we get really into details of football here, but I think it's something that's interesting is teams played them. And as you go down, this is what I wrote in the article, as you go down the rungs of, I don't know what the plural of rung is. As you go down the rungs of the college football teams, you get more and more what we'd say quarters coverage. So 2 safeties deep, cover 4, so 4 deep zone defenders, and they're playing it like that. The higher you go, the more man coverage you get, and man coverage is usually a 1 high safety. So you get cover 3 and you get cover 1. Now, what happens is if you're playing with 1 high safety, whether you're in cover 3 or cover 1, and you get a run action, that deep safety is not part of it. So the 2 corners are not part of it, and the deep safety is not part of it. So you're left with 8 players that are part of the run to fit the run and stop the run. When you play quarters, and especially in the way the teams in the lower levels of college football, which is what BYU played this year, play this quarters coverage, what ends up happening is because the safeties are both splitting the deep responsibility, they're both involved in the run fit. So instead of it being an 8-man run fit, you end up with a 9-man run fit. And now you have to do it because BYU was creaming teams on the ground. And now when you pull the ball on play action, you're getting all sorts of opportunities down the field. And Zach Wilson took advantage of it. So there's that, the offensive line playing into it. And then that plays into the fact that they didn't see a lot of man coverage. Teams were afraid of their big-time receivers. Dax Milne is going to get drafted in the 5th round, the 4th round, something like that. Tight end was good. They had really, really tall receivers. And that's another thing. Further you go down in the rungs of college football, the players get smaller. Cornerbacks are smaller. The 5-stars who are 6'3", 215, who can run a 4.5, whatever, they don't exist anymore. So those BYU receivers are just so much more physically dominant than them. So teams did not want to play man coverage, and playing zone coverage is a lot easier for a quarterback. I should know. I won co-ed division FPF Flag Plus Football's quarterback of the year last fall. So I should know these things.
You pulled that card.
I'll tell you,
flex.
I've got a real question for you though. But actually, go ahead, finish your point, Seth. Go for it.
Well, the point is just that I find, and coaching quarterbacks here in Montreal for many years, I find it's really tough for young quarterbacks to always deliver against man coverage, especially if their receiver that they want to throw to is covered. They have a hard time being okay, it's not covered, let me get to my next receiver. When they're young, they think, okay, my receiver's about to get open, let me hang on to the football. And with zone, you just find the hole in the zone and that's it. So yeah, that I think Zach Wilson seeing no man coverage this year is very important. He gonna see it in the NFL, let me tell you.
Right.
Yes, he play man in the NFL. Especially against whoever the Jets are trotting out a receiver. I know they're signing Galladay,
Denzel Mims.
Other than that, yeah, Denzel Mims. We don't know anything about Denzel Mims. So, anyways, that's my spiel about Zach Wilson.